Hello everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a little bit more of a simple card, but we're going to amp it up just a little bit with some embellishments and lots of shimmer. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a piece of watercolor cardstock. This is from Tim Holtz and his watercolor cardstock. And I've already die cut this previous, and it was in my stash, so I thought I would use it today. And I'm taking this stamp here from Simon Says Stamp. This is their Merry Christmas sentiment stamp. And I like how bold it is, and so it just makes it a great focal point on a card. So that's what we're going to do today. So I am prepping my cardstock with my anti-static powder tool, and I'm going to ink up my stamp with my Versamark ink. I am stamping this in my Misty because we're using watercolor cardstock, and I'm using the textured side today. So I want to make sure that I'm getting a really, really great impression. So I'm going to ink that up twice, another time, and then stamp it one more time, making sure I get a really great impression. And then we're going to go ahead and remove that from our Misty, and I'm going to go ahead and take my white embossing powder. This is from Hero Arts, and I'm going to sprinkle this on to my card stock here. And I'm going to make sure that it's good and covered. This is, like I said, textured cardstock. So the embossing powder will have just a little bit of places where it's not fully covered, but you really can't tell that too much on camera. So the next step we're going to do is I got this little plastic palette here, and I'm going to take my distress ink here. This is the Candied Apple distress ink, and I'm just going to smush that onto my little palette here. And I've got my little water. And this is going to be super, super simple, very, very basic. I'm just going to coat my cardstock with some water and then take my distress ink and just put this all over that sentiment, and it will resist the embossed greeting there. One of my favorite things to do is do emboss resist, and I do like it. I like doing it with watercolor as well. I don't do it as often, but I thought it would be fun to go ahead and do it today for today's card. So I did go ahead and kind of dry this off camera as I was doing it in steps. So I did take a darker color fired brick just to add just a little bit more of a darker red to give it a little bit more of a more depth, I guess you'd say. So I'm going ahead and adding just a little bit more of that deeper red, and as I add it and kind of take away some of the ink off of that embossing, then I'm going ahead and taking my heat tool and making sure that that's good and dry there. And I'm also impatient too. I didn't want this to wait. I didn't want to wait on the just time itself to make it dry. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some shimmer. I'm taking my Mr. Huey's here. I don't think they make this anymore, but I will link to one that's kind of similar. And I just spray this all over the panel here just to give it some shimmer. And I don't know, it's hard to capture on camera, but I promise you it's there, and it's really, really pretty. So I'm taking this shimmer cardstock here. This is from MFT, and I'm just going to mount this watercolor piece onto this sparkle cardstock. It's a beautiful, beautiful sparkle colored cardstock, and I had to get some more of it. So this is like one of my last pieces. So I did go ahead and place an order, and I've already received that. So I would have some backups. So it's beautiful cardstock, and I highly recommend it. So I've got that placed down, and I did use my glue, and because I wanted to make sure that that was good and adhered down to that glitter cardstock. And I've just got this piece of like glitter ribbon here. This is just from my stash. Again, I don't think they make this anymore, and I apologize for that. But I'm just kind of using up some elements that I've had in my stash for a little bit to create this card today, because obviously it's just sitting there. So I thought it would add to my card design. So I'm just kind of cheating here and just wrapping this around and then using some Scotch tape to adhere that to the back. I didn't have to actually tie it or anything like that. That's a really great tip if you're new to card making, just to make it look like you tied it on, but you really didn't. So I'm taking this frame die here from Right at Home, and I die cut a piece of new leaf cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. I love this green cardstock, and I thought it would do a really great accent for what we're about to do now. I'm going to mount some foam adhesive to this panel here. And to tie, I wanted to make a very traditional and color card today. So that's why I'm adding all of the reds and the greens and the silvers. And I've got these little puffy felt stickers, again from my stash, that I thought it would be a really final great accent to add to this card to really finish it off and really pull in more of that green. So I've adhered that, and it's got all of that sticky on the back, so it makes it really, really easy to adhere. Now I'm just going to take my white card base. This is from Paper Trade Ink as well. This is the Stamper Select White, and I just cut that down to an A2 size card. And now I'm going to mount that again with my liquid glue and make sure that that's good and adhered and get that all over there. And another reason why I like glue, I've mentioned this in the past, where it gives you enough wiggle room to adhere your cardstock, and it gives you that time, and you don't have to pull it on and off. So anyway, I'm going to show you, kind of slow this down here and show you all that shimmer, and that completes our card for today. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I'll be back for card number 6 very, very soon. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.